Hey, we just got out of my friend Dahmer.
Oh, fuck.
It was a roaring good time.
I didn't see you slip out the microphone.
Yeah.
It
Wow.
was... Well, it was good. It was good. I will say that first off.
It was good. Yeah. It was a good movie. Wow. Where do I start, though? There's really not a lot going on here, plot-wise.
It's an indie movie.
Yeah, it's definitely an indie movie.
It is the most indie movie I've ever seen. It just happened to be about Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah. I mean, this is literally just... This is a movie about, normal high school stuff going on. And it's just kind of, following the main character throughout his... What is that?
It's my friend who looks like...
Oh, yeah, he kind of does, doesn't he? It's just kind of following, what normal high schoolers do, throughout their day-to-day life. But, the main character just so happens to be Jeffrey Dahmer this time around.
Mm-hmm.
So you get him...
You get hanging out with friends.
Yeah, he's hanging out with his friends.
Going to the mall.
Picking up some roadkill.
Killing animals.
Well, he didn't kill that dog.
He killed something else.
Oh, he killed that squirrel. Yeah, he did.
No, what was the thing that was stuffed in the log? I couldn't tell what it was. It was like
Stuffed
a dog
in
or
the
a cat.
log?
Remember they said it was like a witch coven?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, that was Yeah, he killed a lot of animals, actually. Because I forgot about that.
The more we think about it.
I forgot about that scene. But yeah, God. So, he's struggling with alcoholism. He's sneaking it from his parents. His mom's fucking crazy. His
dad is completely His dad was totally like he'll walk in, say, well, you see the thing, go talk, son, and then leaves.
Yeah.
And then he just fucking moves to a motel, which understandably to get away from his batshit mother, but he's still kind of...
All right, so let's
an absentee father, a crazy mother, and I mean on top of that, he was way too interested in watching dead bodies dissolve.
Okay, I did not. I don't study serial killers like some people totally get into, so I don't know much about Jeffrey Dahmer.
My mom's really interested in that stuff.
Yeah, I just know the main gist of it, but I did not know that his mother was mentally unstable. So that would explain a lot, because that is,
both nature and
genetic.
Nurture, why? Yeah.
Yeah, it's genetic, but also...
It's made worse by the fact...
Holy shit, she's fucking crazy. And, oh my god, I turned to you in the theater, I was like, if I had to deal with her, I'd probably kill people too.
The only thing crazier than her was that kid's white overalls with flannel. He looked like he was a painter. Sorry.
So yeah, this movie does... It makes you feel for Dahmer as much as you can feel for Jeffrey Dahmer,
who killed 17 young men, as we learned.
But this, this is about the makings of Jeffrey Dahmer.
This is not about his murder spree. In fact, his murder spree happens, after the film.
Yeah, the movie ends before he even kills his first victim.
Of course, it gives you that. I thought that was bizarre as shit when they give the first victim's name, Steve Hicks.
Yeah.
The way he's like, I'm Steve Hicks, like it's like a sequel tease or something.
Yeah, right.
It felt a little too like the fans of Jeffrey Dahmer would be like, oh, he said the name!
We missed the post-credit scene. It was the sequel tease.
or my friend Dahmer 2.
Yeah.
The return of Dirtbag Dirk.
He's like helping with the murders. Come
unintentionally. On, Jeff. He thinks they're making food. I don't know.
Come on, Jeff, let's go on an adventure. Oh, but who do we gotta kill today? I don't know. Let's kill the vice president.
Oh yeah, throughout it he was making fun of this guy who had cerebral palsy, and that's how he got friends, and so he just kept upping the spasms.
Yeah, no one likes him at first because, he's Jeffrey fucking Dahmer. And he's just a weird, creepy fucking kid. Never smiles.
There are parts where he seems normal, and then something will fucking happen, and you're like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
He turns into a serial killer later.
He doesn't get friends until he starts acting out and, becoming kind of the class clown.
But this was the 70s, so being the class clown consisted of faking seizures and...
Yeah, holy shit. This kid is... If he was doing this kind of shit today, like, oh my god, he'd be in a straitjacket.
I don't think he'd be in a straitjacket. Did they put you in straitjackets, like, straight off the bat?
Huh? It was an expression.
Oh, I'm sorry. I took it literal.
Don't.
My bad.
Fuck. What was I saying?
Don't fuck.
What?
You were saying that he'd be in a straitjacket if he was pulling that shit today. He has to act out in order to get his classes.
Yeah, I don't know where I was going with that.
Well, he gets a fan club, which is basically just his 3 friends, but everybody knows about Dahmer. There's a scene where he flips out in a mall because they have like a cash pool.
Yeah. What about it? Were you just saying that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm just listing things that happen in the movie.
I thought you were going to go into something more specific about that. Yeah,
I meets a vice president, which I'm sure that's taken from some real account.
I'm sure. Yeah, this movie did a good job of making me think. I wonder how much Dahmer's home life attributed to what he ended up doing later on. Like, I wonder...
Oh, I'm sure a lot of it did.
Well, yeah. I'm just saying, like, I wonder...
how much is nature, how much is nurture?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because...
There's definitely a combination of...
There was... I mean, even if you take away all of the negative things, he's still this kid that's super fucking awkward and super interested in, like, bones and shit. Well, and dissolving animals. Like, how much of that was a stress relief from his parents, and how much of that was just him, you know?
I also think, well, there's a lot of people I meet who have, like, very macabre interests.
Mm-hmm.
But they have, for the most part, some stable home life. So I think it's, like, a combination of the two.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I've known people with fucked up home lives, and I've known people with... I mean, of course, this is not 100%... oh, you gotta have both, or if you have both, you will become a serial killer. There's obviously like 100 different factors into it.
Of course.
But I think the point, at least that the movie stresses, is that with proper psychiatric help, which was not around in the 70s.
Yeah.
In fact, the 70s is known as kind of the last bastion of, you know, the last, I don't know if I use that word right, the last, you know, decade where people were just like ignoring mental illness.
Oh, yeah.
In the 80s, it started becoming a thing to, you know, truly investigate, especially with the last of the horror asylums were in the 70s too.
And thank God that people are getting help now, because if we had people like Jeffrey Dahmer's mom, just, you know, that was the norm to be that way if you were mentally ill, like...
To just without help. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people who still go without help, and there are still serial killers. But I like to think it's less widespread.
I mean, I don't know.
Well, you hear more about mass shootings than serial killers nowadays.
Yeah, you do.
But that might have to do more with the fact that stressors finally breaking people. I don't know. Now we're getting into a psychology talk, and I don't know enough about psychology to confidently be like, this is why we have less serial killers and more mass shooters.
So yeah, Jeffrey I called the movie Jeffrey Dahmer.
Jeffrey Dahmer, the movie.
I almost said Jeffrey Dahmer's pretty good. My friend
good.
My friend Dahmer's a good movie. Honestly though, it's probably not for everybody. If you need something a little more coherent to latch onto, or if, you know, serial killers just aren't really your thing, because this is a very interesting movie. I think this movie would make some people uncomfortable and some people a little bored. Personally though, I thought it was alright.
I didn't really think so. I honestly thought I wasn't gonna like it as much as I liked it. Not to say that I think it's amazing, but at the same time I thought the pacing was excellent.
Yeah.
which is hard to do in an indie film like this. My biggest complaint was that it felt like a generic indie film at points.
What do you mean by that?
The fact that it had a yellow filter over it.
I didn't notice that.
And then the really symmetrical Wes Anderson-y shot. It felt like an Anderson movie almost, but then there was like...
I didn't think this felt like a Wes Anderson movie at all. What?
The cinematography, I'm talking more. Like Barry Sonnenfeld. Do you know what I mean?
No.
The cinematography felt like Wes Anderson. Not the dialogue, obviously.
Okay.
And I felt like there was a little too much levity in certain points. Like, I like the idea of, like, going back and forth between these scenes where Dahmer's with his friends and some of the shit they say is actually hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have, like, the really disturbing parts. But I can't take that ending seriously, almost. Do you know what I mean? It feels like a joke.
I mean, yeah. I laughed at it. I think it was supposed to be, a juxtaposition.
Well, what I'm saying
like,
is...
it's this happy whoop-de-doo kind of feeling to it.
No,
but
I understand that, but I feel like it didn't land for me. I didn't get this, like, oh, fuck, this is,
yeah,
wicked. Like, this is like, oh, this is fucked up. Like, the juxtaposition, which is kind of, not, how could the director do that? That's fucked up. More of, this whole situation's fucked. It felt more like I was laughing. Like, it was just funny.
Yeah.
I was laughing at this real life. I just feel like, for the movie to end on that note, again,
I see where you're coming from.
I'm nitpicking too.
I know. I see where you're coming from, though. I do get what you're saying.
Because I really love the serious moments of this film as much as I love the levity, and it just felt like the film could have ended on a more serious note.
Yeah. So yeah, My Friend Dahmer in a nutshell. If you like the trailers, this is pretty much that. Just longer.
You like indie movies with serial killers?
Yeah.
That's what this is.
So yeah, go see it. It's good. Bye.